Hey guys, this is Bharat and welcome to Bharat's Kitchen with perfect Dal Makhani recipe. For me, Dal Makhani are basically three types: Dal Makhani Restaurant style, Dhabha style Dal Makhani, and Dal Bukhara. But in this video, I'm going to show you how to make restaurant style Dal Makhani. Okay, so let's begin with it. So first I soaked some whole black lentil or urad sabud with some kidney beans or rajma for about 6 to 8 hours. And the secret to dal makhni is basically cooking the starch present in the urad dal, for which you first want to remove its skin and then gelatinize the starch. Now this takes a lot of time and water, and just like in a risotto, starch present in the rice gives out creaminess, the same way here the black urad dal gives out that creaminess and not a ton of butter or cream. Trust me on that. Now I've also soaked chana dal in a separate bowl, and I know some of you won't agree with me for using chana dal. Yes, you can skip the chana dal altogether, but we'll discuss that in a later video. For now, soak it for about 6 to 8 hours. So in restaurants they cook chana dal, urad dal, rajma in a huge pot all together for a long time. But certainly at home that's not viable. So yes, we're gonna pressure cook the dal, but we're not gonna cook them all together. We're gonna cook them separately, and I'll show you how. Take a pressure cooker, and first you're gonna cook the chana dal alone. Give it about 4 to 5 whistles on a high flame and let the pressure cooker depressurize naturally. You'll get something like this, which is that the chana dal would have become really soft. But what we want is to completely dissolve the chana dal in our dal makhni. So I'm gonna mash the whole thing until it becomes pasty, and trust me, this simple step will make a huge difference. Now to this, I'm gonna add some whole spices like black cardamom or Badi Elachi, some tej patta, some cinnamon stick or dalchini, some long, and finally add some salt. And don't worry, you'll find all the list of ingredients and their measurements on my website. Now to this, add a soaked black dal and rajma, and also add ample amount of water. Remember, you need to add enough water in the pressure cooker so that there is enough movement while cooking and the dal can release its starches. So wait for about 8 to 10 whistles this time. Yes, it's that much. And again, let the pressure cooker depressurize naturally. Now you can see how soft the grain of dal has become. It will be able to easily release the starch. But to cook the dal faster, I'm going to grind some of the dal. So in my mixer grinder, I've added some ice, and I'm going to add about 1/4 of the quantity of the cooked dal. I added ice because the dal is very hot and I don't want to ruin my mixer grinder. And also, I want the starches to cool down. So let the dal sit for about 5 minutes in the grinder so that the ice melts, and then grind it. You'll get a very starchy and creamy mixture like this. For the next step, you're gonna need some slit green chilies and some roughly sliced ginger. Alright, now it's time to do the most important step of making dal makhani, that is cooking its starch. So keep the flame on low and add some water. Let's go. Then add the grinded dal, the ginger juliennes and slit green chilies. Mix everything and cook for about 20 to 30 minutes on a low flame. See, I told you it's gonna take time. So cover it with the lid, and after every 10 minutes, keep stirring. So first 10 minutes later, you'll notice that the dal will start to release its starches from the skin. And this amount of bubbling will accelerate the process. So cover with the lid and cook for further 10 minutes. And then you can notice the dal would have reduced considerably, and now it's starting to get thick. So 5 to 10 minutes more of cooking and you'll get this. A little skin forming on the top, and the bubbles are getting smaller. That's it. This is the stage you're looking for. So turn the flame off and let the dal cool down. And in the meanwhile, let's prepare the other stuff that you're gonna need, which is some onion, and make sure you make a paste out of it as it's a restaurant style dal, so everything needs to be smooth. Next, you're gonna need some tomato puree, and you can use the store bought one or you can make it at home like I did in my recipe. But remember, if you want a restaurant like taste, do not use fresh tomatoes here, as commercial purees and even in my puree recipe I use citric acid or lemon juice, which is very important and give you that different taste. Now for the ground spice mix, you're gonna need lots of coriander powder, some red chili powder as well as some Kashmiri red chili powder. Further comes in some amchur or mango powder, some garam masala, ginger or saunt powder, and yes, you'll get all the list of ingredients and their measurements on my website. Alright, time to cook. So take a large pot or a kadai and add some desi ghee. And yes, you can use oil here as well. To this, add the onion paste, and we need to cook the onions till well done. So keep stirring and cook them very well. Now when the onions are about 80% cooked, add some turmeric powder, some ginger garlic paste, and cook until everything is well done. At this point, add the tomato puree, and remember, purees are already boiled and cooked. You don't need to cook them for too long. So cook until it starts to release its oil, and yes, as soon as you add the tomatoes, add the salt. So cook for about 5 to 10 minutes and you'll start to see the oil separating from the puree. So add a ground spice mix as well and cook for about 2-3 minutes more. Don't cook for long, otherwise the spices might burn. Now add some water, some whole milk or full fat milk, and cook until it starts to boil. And when that happens, add our cooked dal, and you can see the dal has become even more thick. मतलब ऐसा लग रहा है ऊपर मलाई जम गई है. And that is the cooked starch. Cover with the lid and cook for about 10-15 minutes. You basically got to reduce the dal to about 3/4 or until you get your desired consistency. In the end, add lots of Kasuri Methi or fenugreek leaves, and to finish it off, add some butter as well. So the dal is kept at this stage in restaurants. They keep it on a little bit of heat, let it simmer and settle. Okay, the final ingredient that you need to add is a little bit of fresh cream. And add it only when you've turned the flame off, otherwise the cream will split. Now the whole time in the video I was making this recipe for about 20 people. But if you want to make this recipe for about 4 to 5 people, then you'll find all the list of ingredients and the measurements on my website. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, it helps me out a lot. Until then, I'll see you all next time.